Hello, everyone. Welcome to the beginning, the first episode of my new series of explainers. I'm going to be covering a topic that doesn't really get discussed much. It is the most unique and obscure ethnic cuisines that you can get in Chicago, and I'm not going to be talking about things like Chinese or Indian or Thai or Mexican because those are just so ubiquitous. You can get those anywhere. So, not. I'm going to exclude cuisines that are pretty easy to find and where you'd be hard pressed to find someone who's never had them in their life. I'm going to be talking about only the stuff for the most adventurous foodies and those who are just curious to try new things with their life and experience everything there is to experience. So, without further ado, um, I I'm going to get into the first one. I mean, I previously wanted to cover several in a video, but it ended up being too long, so I decided to just do them one cuisine at a time, one national cuisine at a time, so that I could elaborate more on each cuisine. And the first one I'm going to be talking about is Peruvian. Now, Peru is here in Latin America. It is in South America, and it's close to Brazil and Ecuador and Colombia. And if you think that go in thinking that it's going to be like just an offshoot of Mexican cuisine, you are very wrong. You're sorely mistaken, and you're missing out on a lot. I mean, that's actually. I went in first thinking it was nothing. It was not going to be anything special. Thinking it was just going to be like Mexican cuisine. But again, I was pleasantly surprised. It is very, very different. I mean, within all of Latin America, I mean, some of the cuisines closest to Mexico, they're like pretty. I would say they're kind of like inferior offshoots of Mexican cuisine, but and then all of Latin America, it all has like this certain flair, this vibe, and Peru's just different. Peru's just like the odd one out. It's got and you'll see what I mean. It's got dishes that just completely shatter that whole norm, while still also having some keeping some parts of the Hispanic vibe, but it's just a whole different animal on its own. Um, so let me show you firsthand if you don't believe me. So already you can see these dishes. Do these really look super Hispanic? Um, no, not really. This looks super traditional because the dishes I'm about to show you, a lot of them are super. These are like Incan dishes. These are dishes that are pre Columbian, pre the Spanish arrival. Like the Incans were feasting themselves on this, and boy, they had some delicious food. So this is Taste of Peru. This is perhaps the most famous restaurant in Chicago, and it's also my favorite one. And let me show you where it is. It is in Rogers Park. It's pretty somewhat close to Loyola University, like probably not walking distance, but you can see there. It's pretty close to Devon Avenue and all like the Indian places on Devon. Um, yeah, and apparently Guy Fieri agrees. He went here and he did a whole Food Network special on this, and that's why they now have a combo named after what he got. Now I'm not going to be talking about what he got right away because the dish that he got wasn't super traditional. It is nonetheless probably like the most famous Peruvian dish, but it wasn't really traditional. It's actually Chinese inspired, believe it or not. Again, I'm going to talk about that later. But what I usually come here for is the super traditional stuff, and so my favorite is probably seco de carne, which means like seco means stew, but it's not just that's really it doesn't do it justice that name. The It's cooked in like Incan corn beer and like a cilantro like a sauce, and it has like a really unique flavor. You just can't get it anywhere else. Just go try it. Just go try it. That's all I will say. If you don't like beef, you can get it seco de pollo. Most of the options, like, you can either do beef or you can do chicken, with either one. But this one you can do it with both. And another thing I have to mention is that this is part where it does keep the Hispanic vibe. Is that I had no idea the rice would actually taste good on its own, because being Asian, my whole life I was accustomed. I thought white rice, you would just steam it and make it flavorless, and so you just eat it with other things to actually give it some flavor. But Hispanics have a completely different take on that, which they actually put like salt and like other seasonings in the rice that are invisible, but they actually make the rice taste good on its own. So don't eat this the Asian way. Don't scoop seco de carne or beans onto your rice. Eat the rice separately and enjoy it as its own. That's all I will say. Don't ever throw away the white rice you get from Hispanic restaurants. You can feel free to do that for rice from Asian places, though, because it does no taste. Oh, sorry, I hit my funny bone. Ow. And then arroz con pollo. This I don't think you can actually get with beef. This one, it has to be chicken. But this is basically like the rice version of that. This is of seco de carne or whatever. It has a pretty similar flavor, but this is more condensed into like a rice dish. And then they also have probably my second favorite is ají de gallina. This is shredded chicken in like a walnut cream sauce with Peruvian ají pepper, which is uniquely Peruvian. And this is really good. It's also got a unique flavor. It's like, again, the name really doesn't do it justice. Just try it. You'll never get it anywhere else. And then there's also a third really what is it? No, the third really traditional dish here is entree wise is cow tripe stew. This one it's like cooked in Peruvian spices and mint. And again, if you don't like tripe, it's obviously not for you. But if you do like tripe and you want like the most traditional Peruvian you can get, definitely try the cow tripe stew. Like, it wasn't my favorite or anything, but it was not bad. And so after that, if you're looking for something, not super traditional, but something that's more or less the national dish of Peru, we'll go back to Guy Fieri. What he got, and he got the lomo saltado, which is that means stir fried beef. Or you can, if you don't like beef, you can get pollo saltado, stir fried chicken. And like I said, this is actually Chinese inspired because Peruvian has a lot of Chinese immigrants. Not that it really like tastes like Chinese food or anything. I mean, it's got lots of ingredients that the Chinese would never put in there, like French fries, and Peruvian ají pepper as well. It not a dish that tastes like overtly Chinese or anything, but I mean, I've had this on 2 occasions. The first time I had it, it was delicious and I loved it, probably because it was cooked in beer or something. The second time, I did not. Maybe because the chef was not the same, or it wasn't like hot and piping and fresh. But I don't know why. Yeah, it's kind of like a hit or miss. It's got a little bit of soy sauce in it, but I could hardly taste it, which is good because I don't really want like a dish that like spells Chinese or something like. But I mean, I guess if you like Chinese food, then this is also. I mean, this won't be bad. But this is. But yeah, I say give it a try if regardless. I mean, I was skeptical of it for a long time, and then I had one good experience and one bad experience. Um, yeah. What else? And then they also have lots of obviously non-traditional dishes that are just popular in Peru because of immigrants bringing them over. Um, I think they have like spaghetti and like other stuff like green pest like spaghetti and stuff like that because lots of Italians. They even have their own take on fried rice, called arroz chalfa. Chalfa, chalfan. That's the Chinese word for fried rice. Um, I've never had it because being from an Asian family, I don't know if I really want. I don't have a ton of enthusiasm to try a bastardized version of fried rice, but I mean, maybe I'm missing out. Maybe there's a uniqueness to it that I really haven't tasted yet, and that I'm shutting myself off from. But I don't know. It's not high on my list of priorities when there's so much other good stuff there. But 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 yeah, and appetizers wise, they also have they have papa a la huancaina. This is it's like a Peruvian cheese sauce, but it doesn't taste like nacho cheese at all. It's got like a nutty flavor. I'd say it tastes a lot more like a walnut, or like a nutty cheese, like a nut cheese than whatever. It's a lot. It's definitely just try it again. As I will say, there's no harm in doing that. They have pollo a la parrilla. This is probably the Latin like chicken pollo a la brasa or whatever. I still haven't had it. I think they only serve it on weekends or something like that. I could be wrong. They have their own version of tamales. They have their own version of empanadas. Very different from a Mexican empanada because it's more emphasis on like the bell pepper taste. They have papa rellena. This is stuffed potato. What else? They have pretty good desserts too. They have like I always get the virgin pisco sour. That's a pretty good drink. Get the there's like a purple corn pudding and a purple corn drink. Both of them are pretty good. But they don't taste like corn at all. They're like very sweet and sour. Um, yeah, I mean, off the tip of my head, what else do they have? They have taku taku. It's like a rice, a crispy rice ball, with like the Peruvian ají pepper, ají amarillo. Um, I still have yet to have that. Um, like what else they have? Chicken with peanut sauce. But I mean, I've had that. A friend got it once, and it was really good, and it had some spice to it. But then I got it once, and then it was like really not good, and it wasn't spicy at all. So I mean, it could be some confusion with the dishes. Um, yeah, but I think I've been to this place so many times that I don't even remember off the tip of my head everything I've had. I had the estofado de carne. Was not a fan of that. It just tasted like a normal beef stew, nothing unique. But other people will say otherwise. Um, but yeah, taste of. Oh, another. They have beef hearts. They call anticuchos. That's part of the Guy Fieri combo. That's it's kind of like a shish kebab, but of like beef hearts or chicken hearts. Definitely try those. Those are pretty darn good. And they're keto too if you're following a keto diet. The first time I had this restaurant, it was when I was doing keto, and I literally just got the anticuchos, and this is before I knew how unique Peruvian cuisine was. Um, but yeah, I got those skewers, and then it came with a little potato on the side. And I was like, I'm not really allowed to eat carbs, so I just nibbled a bit on the potato, and then threw it out, the potato out. I mean, but and it didn't even disrupt my ketosis, so that's good. But oh yeah, what else? Yeah. Oh, and they also have Inca Cola. That's the Peruvian national soda, and it just tastes like liquid bubblegum, which is pretty much the same. I've found like a lot of international sodas just taste like that, just liquid bubblegum is just the flavor. Um, yeah, like El Salvador, they have like a cola champagne, it just tastes the same. And like Dominican sodas, some of them just taste the same, etc., etc., etc. Guarana, Brazilian sodas, Guarana Antarctica taste the same. Um, yeah, I mean, I always keep trying to try all the foreign sodas. If I notice them, I just order them and I just get burned every time. But but whatever. It's the curiosity that gets satiated. So yeah, cool. Um, Antisa Peru, obviously, they're not the only Peruvian restaurant. There's actually a ton of them. There's like, where else? Pisco, Peruvian Steakhouse, or somewhere here. Where is it again? It might have shut down. I don't know. I never actually been there, but I only Uber Eats them once, but I think it's somewhere around here, around in Albany Park near Northside College Prep. And we'll come back to this place in another video because this is there's another cuisine here that only this location has. Stay tuned. A little spoiler alert, but there's also De Candela. I've never been here, but this is a place in Irving Park Road, sort of like in Irving Park. Peru Criollo. Again, I haven't been there, but it's sort of like off of where 94 and 90 meet. Where else? Where else have I had Peruvian? It's only really Taste of Peru and Pisco that I've actually had it. But yeah, there's plenty of these. There's also a place like up North Inca, Peru, like over in Highwood, which I still haven't been. They used to have like a buffet, like an all-you-can-eat buffet, and I was really looking forward to going there. But they literally all-you-can-eat Peruvian food. Oh my god, it's like heaven. but literally the day I went there, they shut down the buffet, and then they decided they were never going to have it again. So completely missed a golden opportunity. But yeah, definitely give Taste of Peru a try because it's tried and tested. It's famous. Food Network agrees. I've rarely been disappointed. I mean, it's only probably I've gone there maybe like 6-8 times in the past couple years, and then the only times I was disappointed was the time I had the estofado de carne and one time that I ordered the lomo saltado. So twice, but out of like maybe like 10 times that I've gone there, it's like that's a pretty good record. Rarely get disappointed there. If you know what to order, it's all going to be good. But yeah, that was Peruvian food, and the next one, I'm going to leave it to you to decipher what the next one is going to be. And I will see you later. I hope you enjoyed that. If you do, like and subscribe down below, and share with your friends, and let me know in the comments any suggestions, any feedback you have. Excuse me, sorry. And I will see you later.